Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. So Solana also here without much surprise dropping lower. I've been saying here now for the last few weeks that we can expect still lower prices for altcoins, and yesterday another lower low. It's always important, I can only say that, it's always important to keep an open mind. Remember, I had a few comments here a few weeks ago, a few days ago, that Solana will never go below $95 again. There we are, we're currently at 83, and yesterday we made it all the way up to 81. Just important to keep an open mind, not to rule anything out in these financial markets. Everything is possible. We need to keep an open mind. We need to be able to react to unforeseen circumstances. And yeah, Solana even more bearish than I thought. Would have thought with yesterday's move above this resistance area that we would have more significant support here. Now obviously not. It was even the downward pressure is high. Yeah, so that is pretty much in line with the medium-term view that we are going to see lower prices and that Solana will get to that $55 level. That is still my ideal target for the current correction. You can see how difficult the market, how difficult it is made for the market, because since January pretty much, yeah, we've been moving pretty much sideways. There were a few peaks here, yeah, but overall we are pretty much moving sideways between that previous swing low here, $75, and the 61.8% Fibonacci level at $100. That is pretty much the range, with a few fake outs to the upside, but we're deeply back into the range now. And from my point of view, key support is currently then the $75 level. That is what needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, then, and I don't expect it to hold medium term, then we are going to go into that $55 level. Even possible for Solana in a more bearish outlook would be the $30 level. That would be the 88.7% Fibonacci level. That is actually I think after the 61.8, that is actually the most likely Fibonacci level for a wave 2 retracement. Now for the altcoins, we have seen that the 78.6 and the 88.7 are very meaningful. The 61.8, which would be here $100, hasn't really been considered really, but you can see how relevant the $100 level actually is, because we've been trading around it for a long time, but it hasn't really acted massively as support or resistance. Yeah, $55 remains my view here for Solana, and we are coming further down. We have now come down again very impulsively here, a lot of selling pressure, and yeah, I mean, key next swing low here is $81.30. That's sort of if that gets broken, yeah, then we can expect further downside. So watch that level. Then the next target would be $75. Yeah, would be surprised when we drop below that. Then we should get there. I mean, we could expect maybe some support at 78. That is that previous swing low, but the $75 level is the key swing low here, below which we're going to go down to 55 in my view. To the upside, what we have is here with that latest, I think I'm taking that box out now because we have a new swing high here. And let me just take, for the confusion, let's just take that out here. That swing high would need to be broken to at least unlock higher price potential. So this is what I would do now. I would just wait for a signal here. At the moment we are, as you can see, in a range here. We are here below 81, or we are just hovering above that high, yeah, swing high, and below that resistance level. So in this range, 81 to 95, we can now expect some movement. If that level gets broken, 81, I think target is 78 to 75. If we start from here to do that, however, to move higher, to get to the 95, we would again need to break this descending trend line. And that is a relevant one, as you can see. Could draw that trend line here that has provided a lot of resistance, and that move out of this range yesterday was just a fake out to the upside. So it wasn't even, I believe it was not retested successfully on the daily, and there you can see the importance of waiting for a retest. Yeah, a 4-hour retest. Did a 4-hour retest happen? No, not even a 4-hour retest happened. We closed the 4-hour candle above it, but even the retest here didn't happen. Yeah, we didn't retest it successfully, and that is the risk everybody takes, right? If you go long, for example, after a breakout and you're not waiting for a retest, there's a bigger chance of dropping back down. If you wait for a retest, you know, sometimes a breakout happens without a retest at all. So that is just the decision everybody needs to make for themselves. But what I can give you here is the key levels. So $81.30, drop below that takes us to 75 to 78. A move up from here, of course, possible, but we're going to take a look at the indicators in a minute. If we break to the upside of that descending channel or descending trend line, that we would need to break above $89 for that, then it can take us to 95. From here we could go to 100. You can see we have a lot of support and resistance here, very close to where the current price is, because the price has been moving here for such a long time. That builds a lot of support and resistance. Yeah, this is very, very important to understand. Yeah, so obviously there are a few interesting trade setups here for anybody who wants to do it. But that is essentially up to you. I can only try to help you to understand the chart. And because we are here at key support, my view is if that is broken, of course, we go down. And then if 75 gets lost, we go down further. Generally, medium term, the downside potential still there. We're coming down very impulsively. Didn't really even make anything out of this potential short-term bullish move up. So very bearish signal. Let's take a look at the daily. Even here, you know, a potential bullish crossover was prevented here as well. So nothing to, let me just make that larger here, the price. Nothing really bullish. You know, we need to always need to wait for a signal. You see here a very slight bullish divergence on the daily chart, but it's really very, 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 very weak. 4-day chart, which is very relevant here. Now we also don't see really a bullish divergence, so also that is not really a great signal. What is actually even more bearish is, first of all, that on the 4-day chart, if the candle closes like that today at the current price level, we have a bearish engulfing candle on the 4-day chart that is quite relevant, and we have a bearish crossover coming up here. Hasn't happened yet, but if that happens, that could fuel the downside pressure for Solana. And here on the weekly anyway, also bullish crossover prevented, and we are just about to get a bearish crossover here on the ADX and DI. Again, not happened yet, but I'm really missing some bullish signals here at the moment on the Solana chart. 4-hour chart, also no recovery at the moment. So all of these things really, at the moment at least, they point further to the downside, and they just confirm my view that the downside pressure is still there. Obviously, we currently find some support here at that $81.30 level. And the reason for that is as well that we were oversold on the 1 hour, but even here on the RSI on the 1 hour, we're not even getting further away from it. And if we take a look at that support line here, we actually, yeah, you know, with that latest move, we only made a lower high again. And this also, what's coming up here is very weak. So I wouldn't be surprised if we really lose that level. But I think the market is now waiting also for a signal from Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, as we talked about in the Bitcoin video, is currently caught in a small triangle. So this is what we need to observe as well, because Bitcoin is leading the way. And that obviously these are really the short-term moves I've looked at here, but this doesn't change anything. Even if we move up here to $95 or something, it wouldn't change anything of my view that medium term we are going to go to $55. That is how I see it currently in the market. We're coming down to impulsively. Is a breakout from here possible? A sustainable breakout? Yes, it is. But the problem I have with this chart is that we have come down so impulsively. So even if I could count that as a wave 1 and a wave 2, that is what it would have to be. We have come down to impulsively. Yeah, so it is really, really unlikely that this is still the case. Of course possible, but I would only give it a 20% probability for a sustainable breakout to the upside. Not talking about short-term upside. This is always possible. This is the daily noise, which is pretty much impossible to forecast. This is the daily noise, which changes every minute. But we're talking here about also the larger moves, and that is what I'm talking about here, that I would give it a 20% probability only to really start from here. It can start from here. It reached my target area here in green that we defined back in November. Everything fine, but a really sustainable breakout from here, very, very low probability. I of course update you if anything changes, and hopefully you like the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.